Hello, welcome to Should I Buy This Game featuring Moon Bunny. My name is Christine, and in this video I'll give you an overview of how the game is played and then share a few things you may like or dislike about the game to help you decide if you want to add Moon Bunny to your collection. This is the game Moon Bunny, and I am showing you the collector's edition. So this is our player board, and we each have a different colored bunny. Now there's two bunnies in the game. This one that you can see, the three little squares, this allows us to move 3 spots on the board. Now you cannot end up at a spot connected to where you started. So I could not do this. You can also not go backwards. I couldn't go 1, 2, 3. And the other thing is, if my bunny was here, I could not go through another bunny. You have to go around the bunny. Now we also have an alternate bunny, and this one will do a straight line. So if it was here, it could go anywhere on this line or anywhere on this line. Again, he can't go through, this bunny wouldn't be here, so. But it can only go a straight line, but anywhere on that line it can move. It can move here, and then on your next turn it can move anywhere, say on this line, and then on your next turn it can move anywhere on this line. But we start with this bunny here that moves 3 spots anywhere on the board. And what we're trying to do is collect tiles and recipes. And there's all different recipes. This one here has 4 different herbs in one column. This one is, you get 3 points per blue tile adjacent to this tile. And we're building up this tableau that I've started here. So I have things like in the largest orthogonally connected matching set. So I'm working on purples here. I have 4, I can have 5 to get a maximum of 10 points. This is similar, but with herbs. And so I have 5 of these flowers, so that one would be completed. When it says most, you're comparing it with your partner that you're playing against. And here I also have 1 per flower. And so since I had already gotten them for the herb, I got this tile, so I could score them 1 each. And so you're trying to build up. Now, you can see the way I'm placing my recipes in. The reason for that is when a recipe is completely surrounded by an herb, you get an additional turn. So that's why you'll find me placing them in this order. Now, if the tile has this little symbol on it here, you receive a moon cake. And moon cakes are good for points at the end, or you can use them to get one of these scrolls. And they let you do different things like draw 2 and choose 1 to refresh it from the moon. This one gets you an additional turn diagonally. You can move your bunny 1 more space. This one allows you to switch 2 of the tiles on the moon. So if you really wanted a specific tile, but you couldn't get to it, you could switch it and put it where you're going to land. And I also have one here that allows me to switch 2 in the workshop. And that comes in handy if later on, say I had this recipe over here to get 4 different herbs, and I just wanted to switch one of my tiles I previously placed into a new column so I could get the points. The other thing mooncakes can do is that's how we switch out our bunnies. You have your bunny sitting here, and I can spend a mooncake, and then I could switch out the bunnies, and then you would spend a mooncake again to switch them back. And otherwise, as I said, they're worth points at the end of the game. And now you also notice down here, there are 2 recipes, and this is for everybody for scoring. So in this case, whoever has the most ginseng will get the 6 points. And this one, anybody, with every matching set of herbs you have, you get 2 points up to 10 points, and everybody is able to get those points. Now on the side, we have 12 recipes, and once all the recipes have been put into the board, it triggers the end of the game. Here you will see this is where our recipes go. There's a little icon there to place your recipes. Or alternately, if you empty your bag of tiles, then the game is over as well. Now there's a couple tiles in the bag that are a little different. This is a crater, and if you pulled it out, you would put it down. And you can go through it, but you can't land on it. And it takes away the place of an herb. And then there's also this recipe symbol tile. And that goes on, and then a third recipe gets put out onto the board. And sometimes, though, we usually get this later in the game, and then when we think we have more turns, it actually will take the last recipe and the game will end. When the game ends, you still have one round that each player can play. In the game, there are 6 different herbs to collect and 6 different colors of pieces. And so that's basically the game. So for example, when we're looking here, I want like the most of this fruit, which is the longan, and then the other one was the ginseng. So I'm collecting that. I'm also looking for purple tiles. So if I'm coming down here, I know I need a purple, and there's a purple ginseng. So I could go 1, 2, 3. I would get this purple ginseng. I'd move it here because now I have my purple tiles. I would receive a moon cake, and I would still be working towards having the most ginseng in my tableau. And then I would just go into my bag and pull out a new tile to place there. When you get a recipe, I don't think I could get a recipe, but if I was to get this recipe on my turn, then I would put a new one from the pile there. And that's basically how the game is played. Now there is a solo mode. It's played with this deck of cards, and all you do is you turn over one of each of the cards. So in this case, it's B5, and you would take the other player and move it to B5, and that would be the tile that they would take. And you just keep these tiles handy to compare for if you're scoring like for the most or least. Otherwise, the solo mode is not scored. And then you would just grab a new tile from the bag to replace that spot. And that is basically how the solo mode is played. So overall, I really enjoy playing Moon Bunny. And one of the things I really like is all the different little recipes, they call them, but objectives you have throughout the game. Because it's always changing, you don't know what's coming next. As you're building your tableau, you're looking at what type of recipes you have, how are you going to make it all work, how are you going to score these points. Now we also found some of the recipes score a lot easier than others. These ones have maximum to 10, but there's other ones that don't say that, and it has to do with like how many sets you have of something or how many colors. And so you can really score a lot of points if you get those right recipes. But every single one of these tiles has a recipe on the back. And so you don't know what you're pulling for the 12 recipes for the game. So that's the other thing. It's constantly changing. You have no clue what is going to end up in this pile and therefore what recipes you're going to have. And so this game it's replayable over and over again because of just how many different options there could come in a game. And you don't know what tiles are going to be out and the colors, etc., etc., etc. Now, the one thing, though, I want to say is with these bunnies that can go in a straight line, every time I played this game, I never used these bunnies. We just preferred having the bunnies that can go 3 spots because when it comes to a straight line, we're able to get to many of the different spots we needed to get to with the bunnies. So I have yet to switch out my bunny, and I've only played with this bunny. The other thing with these is there are only 6 different ones. So you're going to basically have the same ones from game to game because the difference here is there's one like this and one, instead of being diagonal, it's beside. So there's not a lot of change in this scroll. So maybe if there were more scrolls with different benefits, I don't know what the benefits would be, but just having a variety of benefits might be nice. Now, as I mentioned, this is the collector's edition. So that's why I have all these nice tiles and the dual layer boards. This board is double-sided. This is the 1 to 2 player side, and the other side has 3 to 4. So if you're just buying the game, you're going to have like chipboard pieces, and your board will probably be flat. And then these are chipboard as well. I got the upgrade of the little acrylic bunnies. But overall, it's a really cute game. It's really fun. If you really like that strategy of getting different objectives, not knowing going in what you're going to need, and sort of changing your game plan as you go to fulfill your different recipes. So let me know if you have played Moon Bunny and what you think of this game.